Well, yeah, certainly. I mean, it was our fault. We made a mistake. Spotter said it was clear. It wasn't clear, and, I didn't want to tear my car up, tear his car up either. I respect everybody, and I demand respect. And, I apologized to the guy when he came over the car, explained to him what happened, and then he took it to another level when he started calling me an idiot and whatever else. And I don't appreciate that. I'm not going to take it. I told him how I felt. I called him out. He didn't show. And so I'm good with it if he's good with it, but I'm not going to be disrespected by no means.
Yeah, I guess I had a dinner date at Applebee's last night that I didn't find out until it was too late. It's a shame. Love their riblets and boneless wings, but...
All right, folks, welcome back to Meet Me at Applebee's, your number one unrefined motorsports podcast. It's Brian here with Rob and Ashley, and we've got Martinsville to talk about this week. Races happened, and hot dogs were eaten, and we're going to talk about it. Folks, how we doing this week?
I am slowly becoming a human again, Brian. I won't get too into it, but I went down and saw some friends down in Connecticut Friday, and that extended into Saturday, even though it wasn't supposed to. My good friends in a band called Psalm. If you like heavy, moody, shoegazy, doom metal kind of stuff, then these are your guys. They just got back from a tour with Blackwater Holy Light, which is another amazing band. You should check them out. But these guys are working on demos. They're some of my oldest friends. Excuse me. Anytime we get together, it ends up being a silly time, and that is exactly what happened, and I'm still hungover. How you doing, Truelove? Are you still hungover?
I'm doing fantastic. You just get that going there for y'all.
Last thing I need to hear right now.
Live breaking and entering into the pool room.
Now, was that Chase Elliott's siren, or was that Bill's siren?
Chase's.
It's important to distinguish.
Yes, it's Chase's.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk about that in a few minutes here. But congratulations, Truelove, albeit reluctantly, from my family to yours.
Yeah, y'all have all been raining on my parade before we even got started, so...
Well, I think you're going to rain on your own parade a little bit.
Yeah, really.
Not Chase's parade, but I'm definitely going to rain on someone else's parade.
Kick a guy when he's up.
Yeah, he deserves to be kicked.
I think you all already know who we're talking about, but again, that's a few more ticks down the page here. We got to start with this Xfinity race, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what happened. This was Luke Baldwin's first Xfinity start ever. I already fucked it up. O'Reilly's Busch Series start ever.
First Busch start, yeah.
Yeah, he wrecked out early. His brake shit the bed, which
did he?
Damn.
We will mention that later on in the show again. After that, we had Sam Mayer terrorizing the terrorist Corey Day. This was I texted y'all when this happened. It's time to turn the dickhead back on, and this was the time he could have wrecked Sam Mayer, and nobody would have been mad, but he did not. He ended up having, I think, another good day, another top five, and
Mr. Hendrick definitely
retaliating.
threatened Corey Day's family or something because he's cleaned it up in a massive way since he had a little sit-down talk with Mr. H at what I assume was a Ruth's Chris in Concord or something.
Yeah. This was also Lee Pulliam's first Busch Series start in the JRM car, sponsored by Jerky Boys, and he was doing well. I mean, granted, yes, he's the short track late model specialist, but he's been out of a car for 6 years. He only just had a couple races, I think, and he won his first race back, didn't he?
No, second.
Second race
Valley
back.
Star 300. Yeah, I think it was funny that. Lee Pulliam is an incredible driver. I think there's no question he deserves to be in that race, in that car, and I think he showed that for most of the race. But I do think it's hilarious that in true late model stock fashion, he missed a shift on a restart, which is pretty much what you have to do as a late model stock driver. It seems like every Cars Tour race, someone misses a fucking shift on a restart and chaos ensues. And I leave it to Lee to bring a little taste of the Cars Tour and late model stock racing to Martinsville.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty quiet race until that happened. What I was gonna say was, I mean, you get a lot of times when these, short track specialists will get a shot in a car, and they don't always perform how you would hope, but he actually did. Until he missed, he had two bad restarts I think he just spun the tires, but yeah, the big one, he missed a shift and caused a massive pile up and ruined his teammate's car and God knows who else's cars, but still got a top 5 out of it.
And if you're comparing Lee Pulliam to Cletus McFarland out there too,
I'm not.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm saying that
you're getting ahead of yourself. Save that for that's
save my anger for later.
Yeah, save your anger for a few minutes.
Okay, I'll push it back down.
How much later?
But not that I think he necessarily would have had a shot to win anyways. It seemed like his car was going away and Justin Allgaier was catching him anyways. But, Justin Allgaier got his 3rd win of the season. JRM has won just about every race so far this year, and not exactly a shock to see him win. Nice to see him win, though, after him being, unfortunately, thrown into the bullshit Hall of Fame debate, which we're going to talk about later on in the news and notes. But, good for him. Nobody's mad at a Justin Allgaier win.
Nope.
There was some battling on the last lap between Jesse Love and Rajah Caruth, and this led to kind of an interesting post-race discussion where Jesse and Rajah actually were able to have a nice conversation like adults, but the crew members got involved. And
pretty classic RCR behavior here.
Yeah. Who is the guy? His crew chief, Stockman.
Yeah, Danny Stockman.
Yeah. He comes over. Jesse Love's, crew chief gets over and starts trying to yell at Rajah, and it's like, dude.
What did he say to him? It was just like, you better pull your belts tight next time. It's like, you're not driving the fucking car, dumbass.
Yeah, and Rajah didn't even have his helmet off, and then him and Jesse just went off to the side and had their conversation, and they were fine.
You can hear it in the video. Somebody from Front Stretch took it, I think, and you can hear Jesse say, "Y'all can go fight over there. We're gonna have a talk." And Jesse Love is a literal fucking child, telling these grown ass men to let them handle their business like adults. So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, for sure. For as weird as Jesse Love is, I guess it was nice to see him and Rajah. I mean, they both were very adult in their, post-race.
Yeah, handled it like adults. Exactly.
Yeah. So that was interesting and good. But yeah, it was fine. It was a Xfinity Martinsville race, and no real complaints. Not the worst race of the weekend there, that's for sure.
Yeah, not to add to the foreshadowing of the show so far, but of course there was a modified race. We're going to talk about that in the septic tank. We're going to take it out of order here. But yeah, there's plenty to talk about there as well. But yeah, I didn't get to watch much of this. I watched most of it after I got home. When I was sitting on the couch after Alex Palou put me to sleep, I decided to put that race on, and yeah, it was good. I had no problems with that. I mean, Xfinity at Martinsville, or whatever the fuck series it is at Martinsville, is always pretty entertaining.
Yeah. And to add to the Pulliam discussion, every single O'Reilly race I've been to at Martinsville results in a parking lot red flag pileup at some point. So
yes,
yeah, it's nothing new for everyone that was all butthurt over Lee. Also, Allgaier with that win tied Jack Ingram for 6th on the all-time wins list for the O'Reilly series.
Did not hear that.
And the one last note I had was that the broadcast mentioned that Lee Pulliam, the Junior Motorsports hauler, sold out of his T-shirts the day before the race. So
fuck yeah. That's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, Lee's the real deal. And I will not hear any slander from any of the knuckle draggers out there who might try and sling some shit at his way. Because
I have to imagine he'll get another shot. I mean, when you get a top 5 in your first start, usually it leads to some more opportunities. So
that's how Josh Berry got kicked off.
Yeah, that's true.
Now look at him running 49th place in the Wood Brothers 21.
Hey, he had a decent day Saturday. I don't know where he finished, but he did okay.
10th, I think.
10th, okay. Well, that's decent for him.
Yeah, everyone go buy some Jerky Boys so that Lee Pulliam can race again.
I don't think we have that up here. I haven't seen it.
Well, I think you got to buy it online, but I heard it was like $15 a bag, and I like beef jerky as much as anybody else, but that's a spicy meatball.
I mean, Jack Link's in this economy.
I don't buy Jack Links. I don't buy any of that shit.
Yeah, all the beef jerky in the world comes through the Strait of Hormuz, and that shit's closed, baby. So it's going to get even more expensive.
I've mentioned this before, but there's a local wrestler that makes his own beef jerky and sells it at shows.
I bet he does.
It's amazing. Like it is amazing. Like he really knows what he's doing. So I usually stock up on that when I go to shows.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, on to Sunday. So yeah, I don't know. Truelove, you'll have to pre-race mentions. What is this about? 'Cause I missed
let's
it.
see. I just wanted to mention there was an awkward moment on the grid walk where Mikey was talking to Joey Logano, and like unprovoked, he said to Joey, he said, "I'm gonna get you warmed up. How about that?" He said it like all sensual, and it was so awkward.
Oh, Mikey being awkward. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Awkward and homoerotic.
Yeah.
Also, right before the race started, Boyer was talking to Hamlin on the radio, and he was talking about how good 2311's doing and how good Hamlin's doing lately. And Boyer said everything attached to you is on fire. And it's like,
Jesus Christ.
God.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one a little too much, I think.
See, Denny, next time he talks to him, is going to have to figure out how to reference running over a homeless woman.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that.
My one last pre-race note was, I guess Suarez was going around putting no pooping signs on the porta potties.
Oh, he was doing that. I thought somebody else did that. I didn't realize it was him that did that.
Oh, maybe
and
he
also
was just autographing.
Speaking of Suarez, too, Mikey gave him a fucking gift for the race. That was just like this weird, like, painting of a sailboat or something. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, did Mikey paint it? Did it come from the flea market?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It had like 3 inches of sand protruding from it.
Well, I think it's because there was a little VW bus as part of the
Right.
painting. And, of course, his dad was a VW mechanic in Mexico City. And I'm assuming that's as far as the connection went.
Yeah, I mean, Suarez is a VW guy, too. But
Yeah. That'll hang in the
we may never know.
that'll hang in the back of the coat closet, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to the race itself, I mean, the majority of this race, there's really not a whole lot to talk about. The short track package has still not been sorted out. I mean, yeah, there was some passing, and tire wear was obviously a factor.
It's better.
As far as pit cycles and whatnot. But really, this was the Denny Hamlin show up until the end. I mean, he led. I think him and Byron battled for the lead for the first 20 laps, and then it was Hamlin up until he lost the lead, which we'll get to in a moment.
Yeah, also, shout out Shane Van Gisbergen running in the top 10 all day. I think he qualified 6th or something like that. And
Yeah, he qualified in the top 10, stayed in the top 10 all day. And that's one of those things where, oddly enough, the short track specialists seem to, at least him, have seemed to figure out the short track's a little bit better just because the turns are so
the
tight.
road course guys, yeah. I mean, Allmendinger was the same way. He would always find his way up front at those.
But yeah, he stayed in the top 10 all day. I kind of thought he would fade at some point, but he got an 11th place finish, so he's still in the chase. I think he's 14th in points, and I would not at all be shocked to see him make it in no problem. I think he's very much improved, and very good to see that.
Yeah, next week will be a little bit more of a, not next week, but whenever they go to Bristol 2 weeks from now, that'll be a little bit more of a test, I think.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
still, yeah, keep doing that, and I don't think there's going to be any problem. He's going to win a race this year. I don't think there's any question about that. So.
Oh, yeah, of course. A guy who did not have a good day was Kyle Busch.
No.
His radio was very entertaining all day, and then during a pit stop, he fucking just straight up booted a tire like 15 feet in the air. Very reminiscent of the wonderful movie Rubber. For those who haven't seen that is just about a sentient tire that kills people. And you should go seek it out because it is very good.
Yeah. The fact that no one got injured from that tire on Sunday is pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But then, this is the end of the race here. So
we're not going to talk about Bubba Wallace just wrecking the fuck out of Carson and Denny Hamlin wrecking the fuck out of
we gotta
Ryan
talk
Blaney.
About that. Yeah. Yeah. So Bubba Wallace. I mean, it looked like he straight up dumped Carson on purpose, and
he did. Yeah.
Well, he did, but also through the telemetry and stuff. He wasn't on the gas. Like, he did let off early enough. Like, he wasn't on the throttle when he actually did get into Carson. I think he meant to hit Carson, but not as hard as he wanted, not as hard as he actually did, and that ended up killing his own car in the process. That caused a big pile up and fucked his front end up.
Yeah, that one was kind of whatever. Like, that annoyed me in the moment, but my frustration eventually left my body. The one that didn't leave me was Denny Hamlin just straight up dumping Ryan Blaney. That was fucking chicken shit.
Well, listen, he'd been dominating all day, and he
fucking do better. I don't know.
He claims he had a loose wheel, and that's why he didn't get back up to the lead. Listen,
he was very salty on his podcast when I listened to it today, just about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you lead 3/4 of the race and then lose it, it's based on a pit stop or a
do better in the
caution.
last 70 laps.
Yeah.
So anyways, so Chase Elliott, he always does pretty well at Martinsville, and Alan Gustafson had him on a different pit strategy where he pitted
as
early.
usual.
Always
and
trying something wacky.
Who knows if it would have actually panned out had the race kind of gone to its natural conclusion, but unfortunately, Ty Dillon got a flat and broke a brake rotor, and that caused a caution, and that got everybody back in the same pit cycle, and that put him and Elliott and Denny up front, and Elliott got the lead, and Denny was unable to catch him, and this led to Chase Elliott's first win of the season. And let's give this to Truelove, because even though her driver won, she is still pissed off about it.
Pissed off about it. I'm very happy for Chase to get a win so early in the season, and for him to hold off Hamlin for 70 or 80 laps or whatever it was. So just man, Alan, everyone wants to give him so much credit for this, and I'm still just mad about all the other times that he fucked it up. So I'm still not gonna give him any credit for this, because
people are inconsolable, man.
It might have still worked out okay, but Ty Dillon exploding and catching on fire really helped out a lot. But I don't know what else you want me to say. I'm happy. I know y'all aren't, but
I'm better than Denny. I'll say that. Also, shout out to our favorite tail-having boy, Ty Gibbs, coming in fourth. Seems like maybe the little crew chief swap might have actually helped him out. Seems like he's in a better headspace, racking up top fives. Yeah.
I am now, as much as I don't like him, like, he's gonna win this year. Like, it's gonna happen. So
at this rate, I don't see how that's not a possibility, at least, or a strong possibility. Who had a shitty day? Let's see.
Him and Briscoe have just completely swapped.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
He had last year.
I mean, Briscoe ended up getting a top 20 out of it. I forget exactly where he finished, but he did better than he should have. But very unfortunate. Briscoe is not having a good season.
Connor Zilich has discovered the top 30, so good for him. Justin Allgaier in 22nd, kind of laying low there. I'd like to see him do a little bit better, but was Bowman doing any better than that when he was in the car?
A little bit, but not much. There wasn't really much to go on. He only ran, the first couple races, so...
and Trackhouse winning the Battle of Suarez this week with Shane Van Gisbergen getting 11th.
Yeah, I don't even know where Suarez was not a factor at all.
Top 20, Yeah, Martinsville.
Yeah, it was the first... I think it's the first race of the year that... did not win a good race poll. I got like 49% on the Gluck. the Glock pole, so which is about fair. It was not a great race.
You
I didn't get the hate. I mean, I didn't love it. Even before Chase got the lead, when Hamlin was dominating the whole time, I was still, it held my attention. There was tons of battles and bumping and banging going on throughout the field.
Agreed. Yeah, I didn't hate it.
Behind Hamlin leading.
I didn't hate it as much as a lot of people did. Obviously, the problems with the package and there's cars getting aero tight on a half-mile flat track is definitely a problem. Right. But some guys could make it through the field. Ryan Blaney definitely hustled through, and
Keselowski was able to work his way up a bit, and
Ryan Preece put on a show in the early stages of the race, and Kyle Larson as well. So there's plenty of guys moving around, and maybe it's time to give Fox a little bit of credit. I think they did a pretty decent job of staying on top of all of those battles and comers and goers and all that, and that made the experience at home a little bit better. Again, this is not the Martinsville that everybody thinks they remember. There's no question about that, but I didn't think it was all that bad, and I think it's about as good as you're going to get out of this car.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
Yeah, and all the cars left dirty, which always visually makes me happy.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Also, to all the Darvs for the past however many weeks that are screaming that it's rigged for 2311. It's rigged for 2311 because Hendrick hasn't won. And then Hendrick wins, and now it's rigged for Hendrick. So please pick a battle, y'all. Those are all my notes.
You never know. Stranger things have happened. I don't know.
Point standings.
I'm happy to see Alan Gustafson go sleep easy at night for once.
Point standings, Reddick is still in the lead by a healthy margin. I mean, he got 15th. He said after the race that he's even more confused with this new package. He's not good at Martinsville. He got a 15th out of it, which isn't horrible, but he was not a factor at all. Blaney is up to second. Hamlin's up to third. Chase Elliott's up to fourth. Byron's fifth. Gibbs sixth. Bell seventh. Keselowski's in eighth, which is very good. And then Larson and Busch are rounding out the top 10. Bubba dropped down to 11th from third.
Minus 8 spots. Ooh.
Yeah, so
8th
very
and 11th
bad
are tied, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, how about that? And last place, now let's see here. Nope, still Cody Ware.
Cody Ware.
We won't count Alex Bowman because he's a plate full of Jell-O right now. But yeah, Cody Ware is back to the bottom.
Of course.
Did y'all see the graphic that Fox posted having Ross Chastain as the points leader?
I was just going to bring that up.
Very briefly. Yeah, they're like they put it up like, oh, that's not right. And they just pulled it right back down. Moving on to Fantasy League, Truelove.
Oh, I just remember one more note that I want to talk about before Fantasy League. The end of the race hot dog count for Martinsville was 50,015 hot dogs bought over the weekend, which also resulted in the internet seeing a picture of Richard Petty raw dogging a pink weenie in a napkin. So
yeah, no bun, no condiment, just dog.
Just pink dog.
I mean, the man loves simplicity. He loves plain hot dogs and pepper and mayonnaise sandwiches. So.
Ironically, the elements of a hot dog, essentially, minus the mayonnaise, of course, unless you're in, I don't know, Holland or something. But yeah, that's a.
Yeah.
I got questions for Richard Petty. I should have asked him when I met him.
I saw another picture too. Speaking again of Danny Stockman, he posted a picture of his hot dogs that he got bunless, so it was just a basket of pink weenies covered in chili and slaw and
motherfucker. What are you trying to save carbs? Just eat the fucking bun. Jesus Christ.
It looked disgusting.
A basket.
Yeah. So anyway, Fantasy League. This week's big winner at Martinsville was Bailey Weinkauf.
Yeah. I also failed to mention last week I ran into him and his brother at Darlington. It was good to see those guys.
Nice. Yeah. Second place, Dick Trickle. Third place was friend of the program, not Kyle Petty. Finally getting a podium, so good for him.
Nice.
Fourth, Alan Quickie's briefcase, and Brian had a 4-way tie for fifth. So I was in 12th because I put Chase in the garage because he was dog shit out of my lineup at the end of stage 2.
Another reason why you're mad.
Yeah, there it is.
Cost me 25 points. Thanks, Alan.
Well, that part of that falls on you for not having faith in your boy.
Thanks, Alan. 16th was Rob.
Yeah. I did not set bonus picks this week, or they didn't save. Again, I got pretty in the bag this weekend, and I know I put the picks in there, but I don't know if I did anything other than close the app after I did it. So woke up on race day, or not woke up on race day, turned the race on, flipped the app open, and realized I was in like 80th place. And I'm pretty proud of a 16th, I'll be honest with you. With bonus points, it would have put me, I don't know, not much better, to be honest. The points are pretty tight in this thing, so.
Yeah.
Top 6 tighten up a lot.
Yeah, overall standings are pretty much the same. Chris Davis still leading. Flavortown McLeod has moved to second. Stephen Kent third. Me fourth. Brian fifth. And Rob, you moved up a spot to 17th. So
Just grinding back there.
yep. Didn't need those bonus points after all.
No, I did. More than you know, bud.
So yeah, that's Fantasy League. We're off this weekend, so y'all get a break.
Yep.
Moving on to general notes. Arca East ran at Hickory. I did not watch this. I did see a couple clips that made me feel like I missed something good, but Truelove watched the entire race and says I didn't miss that much. So
No. It was only like the last 15 laps were exciting when they showed that highlight. The rest of the race was, what was his name? Brian Barbaro caused 4 cautions throughout the race, so
Fuck
good
yeah.
job.
nice.
Typical Brian behavior.
Oh, come on. Not all Bryans are bad.
This did have a little bit of a stacked field, though. We had Landon Huffman, Connor Hall, Tristan McKee, and Kyle Busch's spotter, Derek Nalen.
Don't forget the fucking the Cletus kid,
The squirrel guy.
squirrel guy.
Squirrel-
He got
Yeah,
13th.
He started 9th. I think he had a couple incidences, but he still ended up finishing 13th. He had a great-looking heat wave car that our buddy Harslew designed.
Nice.
Got a little emotional in his interview after the race talking about the Biff, so.
The girl, I already forget her name. She
Destiny?
finished 7th in her debut,
Hey, not
so
bad.
that was good.
Yep. Yeah.
She already got another opportunity, so good for her.
Yeah. Which, it is destiny. Y'all fought me on this
That's it.
last week.
Okay,
I
fine.
was wrong.
It was not Dynasty. But yeah, I think she said she's running Rockingham in Kansas, so
Yeah.
that was good. But yeah, at the end, not Tristan McKee. What's his name? Fucking Max Reeves. He led the whole race, dominated, and then there was like a late race restart. And Landon Huffman made it 3 wide on him and Tristan McKee, and
Landon S. Huffman, to be clear.
I
Doesn't matter.
was hoping someone would clarify because I did not catch which one it was. Yeah, so then Reeves lost the lead on that one. And then I think he retaliated on Huffman and ended up spinning him out. And still didn't win, so Tristan McKee ended up winning.
Oh.
And then Max had an interview after the race where the
God.
crowd turned against him.
Yeah, he asked for that.
Yeah.
Talking about how he belongs in that seat and blah blah blah. And again, like Max Reeves is a pretty good race car driver. I'll give him credit. But when your daddy owns Cookout, let's be careful to throw stones from atop of your glass house there, big man.
Cookout nepotism. Yeah, that was our race. Bunch of children doing things.
And adults.
And adults mixed in.
Are we sure it's Destiny? Really?
It's Destiny. It's DYS. Des.
Oh, what the fuck it is. Wow.
Yep.
No wonder I got confused last week.
Yeah. Just a fun little spelling.
IndyCar also happened. I had this on for like in the background for a half hour while I was doing other shit, and I don't really know what happened. I know Alex Blow got his first win of the season, but that's about all I know.
Yeah, absolute dick stomping from Pelot.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you expect at him. Also, Scott McLaughlin going backwards through the fence, all the way through the fence. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was,
in practice,
intense.
yeah. And Will Power, too. He had a brake failure and went head-on into the fence, too.
He did, yeah. But, yeah, I slept through that race. So, yeah, congratulations to Alex Blow. I was excited to see this. Of course, the Winter Olympics just wrapped up, and I think I mentioned how much I enjoy bobsled and luge and all that. And a couple of our favorite NASCAR stars were given the old, I don't even, what's the cool name for that? The old Slippy a shot. How about that?
We'll go with that. Where were they at again? Somewhere in New York?
Lake Placid, yeah, that's where
Yeah.
the Olympics happened 40 years ago, and they still have a training facility there.
Yeah, very cool video watching Ryan Preece go down on a luge. I don't know if I could do that, man. That's some sketchy shit.
I would love to. It would scare the fuck out of me, but I would love to do it.
He's a big man, too, so he was just kind of lumbering down. A lot of bouncing.
Yeah, just
Very sketchy.
Imagine laying down on a twin mattress and going 50 miles an hour. That's essentially what it is.
Yeah. He also called himself Daddy right before he went down, so those were almost his last words.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he was thrilled to make it out on the other side, not just for his wife and children, but just so that wouldn't be engraved on his headstone. How did Connor do?
I only saw a very brief clip of him, so not enough to determine.
I'm sure he has less mass than Preece, so I would have to assume he was a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Just based on gravity.
He usually finishes behind Ryan Preece anyway, so.
That's fair. The big news that came out today, which I can't say we should be too surprised by. Daniel Dye is out of Colleague Racing number 10 truck. He was reinstated by NASCAR, but he quote unquote resigned from the role or from the ride. I mean, Chris Rice had an interview over the weekend. I don't know if it's on Sirius or somewhere else, but he more or less alluded to that Dye wasn't going to be back in the truck, and he said it was above his call. It was up to the partners, and that also that Dye, they'd given him a long rope and he was at the end of it. So not really a shock to see him out of the truck. This is a real good news, bad news situation, though, because taking his spot in the 10 truck for the rest of the season is Corey LaJoie, which also isn't really a shock because he's already been in the 25 truck the last few weeks. So
yeah, former NASCAR sensitivity training recipient Corey LaJoie.
Yes, yes, very ironic, very ironic that that's getting him another ride. But
but I think that this is no surprise. We kind of alluded to it whenever this popped up last week or the week before. He's representing one of the biggest brands in the world, so I'm sure Stellantis wasn't happy about that. And also, this reminds me of what happened to Noah Gragson getting fired right after whatever Twitter he did. I can't remember what it was, but
it was an Instagram thing about something George Floyd related.
Yeah. But, so again, not typically, maybe not always a fireable offense, but if you're already on thin ice, then they're going to use any excuse to get you out of there, and it sounds like that's where Daniel was. So,
yeah, and not to praise LaJoie, I'm sure he'll do fine in that truck, better than Dye will. So, it's probably better off for everybody involved. So, unfortunately,
how's he gonna
what?
How's he gonna drive the 10 truck and the 25 truck?
Well, no, I think Ty Dillon is driving the 25 truck this weekend, and Corey's in the 10 from here on out. So.
All the big stars.
Yep.
I want Daniel Dye back.
I don't know what to say to that.
I don't know if I said this on the show last week, but the only equitable and fair thing to do is put David Malukas in the truck.
Yes, 100%.
And watch him finish 15 positions better than Minnie Tyrell, at least. So,
Which I finally heard him give an interview on whenever they had that IndyCar race, and he just sounds like a dude.
Yeah, he doesn't. He sounds like I'll probably get canceled for this. He sounds less gay than Daniel Dye. If we're going in that thing, he 100% sounds less gay than Daniel
we're
Dye.
ranking here. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. David Malukas comes further in the straight dude voice chart. Definitely not a powerful deep man's voice like Trey Mills has for some reason, but certainly not what Daniel was alluding to. So way to get fired for saying the dumbest shit imaginable.
Yep.
Good job, bud.
In kind of surprising news, Darius Rucker, famous from Hootie and the Blowfish and now single country music fame, is now a part owner of Legacy Motor Club. Mm-hmm. I guess he has somewhat of a NASCAR fandom history. Like, people brought up clips of him from like 20 years ago going to races, and I want to say Hootie was on a car at one point.
Didn't he hang out with Dale Jr. or some shit like that too?
Yeah, I mean,
Probably.
he's been around racing, I guess, for a while. So, good for him, I guess. I don't know. I mean, Legacy's trying to make moves, and it sounds like they're going to have a third charter next season. So, why not? I'm not a Hootie fan or a fan of Darius. They're not the worst band in the world, and more celebrities in NASCAR. So
he seems like a cool guy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate him, so that's fine.
Yes, you got to find someone else's money to burn. That's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe him and Richard can have some plain dogs together.
I already forget the name of the show, but Justin Allgaier made it on some CW crime drama, I guess.
Or did he?
Yeah, somebody else take this, because that's about all I know.
Yeah, so they kept showing previews for this during the O'Reilly race. It's a show called Wild Cards on CW. Mm-hmm. And just from the preview alone, I was like, oh, that looks terrible. I'm definitely not watching that. Mm-hmm. And then last night, I was cooking dinner, and I guess I had the channel on watching something else before that, and then that show started, and so I caught up with it maybe 5 minutes in, and I was like, what is this awful show on my TV screen? It was some lady who had been kidnapped and had made a telephone out of a smoke alarm and called 911. I was like, this is terrible. And then I realized it was the show that Justin Allgaier was going to be on. So then I got sucked into it. But yeah, the whole storyline with Justin was this lady that was kidnapped. Her brother was on Justin Allgaier's pit crew, and the guy that kidnapped her was a sports bettor who had a parlay across multiple sports, and one was on Justin Allgaier's pit crew sucking, so he needed her brother to suck a tire changer. And it was going well until her brother got fired from the pit crew halfway through the race. So yeah, but don't worry, she lived. Police saved her. Well, it was terrible. I will never watch the show again. But
Truelove watches, so you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
there's a lot of Phoenix and Justin Allgaier footage on it, so good for them.
Well,
a Hall of Fame worthy performance.
we might be talking about another racing related drama show later on in the show. So little precursor to later. And yeah, we shit talked Travis or whoever the hell made the comment last week about the Hall of Fame stuff, and the Hall of Fame 2027 nominees got announced. Harvick and Greg Biffle and Neil Bonnet and a bunch of other people. I don't know.
Larry Phillips on the ballot again, which is great to see. Banjo Matthews.
Ernie Elliott got added.
That's right, yeah.
Harvick's going to make it in for sure.
Yeah, Biffle will get voted in out of
Biffles. I mean, I think he should make it in, but I don't know if it'll be this year.
I feel like it'll be this year.
If the circumstances were different, I feel like probably not. I think it's a couple years down the road, but given the events of the past year, I don't see how there's any reason he doesn't make it in.
Yeah.
Randy LaJoie's still on there.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Two-time Busch Series champion, won a bunch of Busch North championships, a totally acceptable and deserving addition to the Hall of Fame. You can hear my voice rising as I say this. I guess we'll talk about that now.
I'm already kind of over.
I mean, everyone's kind of said what they have to say about. We didn't talk about this on the show last week. It was just in our
it dropped
thread.
right after.
Yeah, we don't really have to go too deep into it, I guess. But our favorite Dirty Mo producer, Travis, he made this point. They were talking about whether or not AJ Foyt should be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, which probably not.
Yeah, I would say no.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I think there's a line of guys around the block that would deserve that honor more than AJ, despite his accomplishments. So I think that's an even-keeled way to look at it. And then the conversation moved to Justin Allgaier, TV's Justin Allgaier, and this is where the conversation really kicked off. And Travis was very boldly said that the Hall of Fame should be for Cup only, which on its face is a really dumb opinion. It made me very angry as I was driving. It's like, this motherfucker doesn't even know who Richie Evans is. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what do you... But I think he actually does make an interesting point, whether he meant to or not, especially in regards to Justin Allgaier getting a nomination at some point. And he's a young guy, so he wasn't around for a lot of the stuff that I think the
he's
three
in his
of
late
us.
30s, which
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's unacceptable. God damn.
But I also don't feel like he was a NASCAR guy like us.
No.
I don't think he became a NASCAR fan until he got this job.
But and like one of the big arguments, and again, we don't need to get too deep into this, I guess, but was that the Xfinity championships don't mean as much if you weren't performing in Cup, blah blah blah. And he used the term AAA when referring to the O'Reilly series or the Busch series or anything like that, which honestly I don't really fault him for, since NASCAR has actively turned trucks and Xfinity and O'Reilly, Busch, whatever the fuck, and ARCA into essentially what is a feeder series.
Yeah.
So despite the fact that us old heads might not agree with that opinion, because we all remember the Busch series. I'm a huge modified fan, so I know what that series means and who came from it and why Mike Stefanik deserves to be in there, and Jerry Cook and all these guys, and extend that to Randy LaJoie as well for his Busch titles. It's truly a generational divide that was created by NASCAR. So I don't fault him for having that opinion necessarily, even though it's completely wrong and misses what the Hall of Fame's about, and it makes me viscerally angry. I can only be so mad because that is kind of how NASCAR has framed it, not to mention the way that championships have been decided for the past 10 years. I think now that we're past that system, we can kind of look back at those titles, and I think everyone does kind of subconsciously or consciously, if you're me, look at those titles and say, yeah, those aren't worth as much as one of the ones that Randy got or one of the ones that Sam Ard picked up, Yeah. But that's just me.
I mean... Denny made some interesting points and some bad points on his podcast where, not, I guess there's something to be said where, if Cup is looked at like the top tier series of the entire NASCAR spectrum, is it fair to put some of these guys in the lower series on the same level as the guys at the top?
Yes.
And maybe just
yes, 100%.
I'm not going to be ever going to be a voter, and for as much of a history buff as I like to claim myself, it's one of those things I don't necessarily have a say in, but
well, I'll say this: I will be happily casting my fan vote, which counts for like 0.1% of a real vote in the actual Hall of Fame proceedings. But I will be casting a vote for Larry Phillips yet again because he needs to be in there.
Yeah, I listened to their rebuttal today on Denny's podcast, and they kept trying to make the point that casual fans only know the greats like Earnhardt and Gordon and Richard. It's like, well, the Hall of Fame isn't for casual fans. It's for the industry and the diehards. Like, I think listening to Denny and Jared and Travis, all that it really made super clear to me was that those three have never spent any time in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Because they kept trying to be like, well, you know, they could be in a museum and like be, you know, given respect in that manner, but they don't need to be in the Hall of Fame.
What the fuck is the Hall of Fame? It's a museum.
It's a museum. If you would step foot in there and take the time to pour through it, you would see that it made me very upset.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm just the type that I just like seeing people get their flowers, and the Hall of Fame is to pay respect to the melting pot of people that have built the sport. So
yeah. And I can't express to you how cool it was to go see Mike Stefanik's car sitting in that hall.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was awesome. And to me, you know, being more of I prefer short track racing and the roots of the whole thing to what we have now in the Cup Series, that's for sure. To see that lined up against, I think Carl Edwards is in there as well, who also came from short track racing. Again, the roots need to be honored, and to minimize the accomplishments of Mike Stefanik or anybody else who's made it in that necessarily didn't make it to Cup, or maybe their Cup career wasn't on the level of, you know, like Mark Martin or any of these other guys that are in there. I just think that's missing the point for what the museum is. If NASCAR had a table tennis league, there would be table tennis players in there. That's, I guess. I don't know, that pissed me off. But again, I think all the things you just said, Truelove, that kind of drives the point home I was trying to make, that it's just a generational divide, and it's kind of NASCAR's own doing, the way they've framed things over the past few years. Honestly, to aim it at casual fans. So in that regard, I guess it worked. But I don't know.
All I know is I hated Travis before, and he's never coming back from this.
That's fair. All right, well, now it's time to move on to the DARF of the week. And this was, again, going back to Luke Baldwin and his unfortunate incident on Saturday. So, I mean, the tweet is from Coop Designs,
yes,
but he's not the DARF.
No, Ray Barrios 78 is definitely the DARF.
Yeah, so he started this convo off. According to his dad, Tommy, Luke had so much experience to race in O'Reilly Series and saying Cletus has no business in the series, blah, blah, blah. And then Coop responded with brake failure, buddy, which is true. It's what happened. And yes, also Luke Baldwin does have the experience to be running at Martinsville, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And then Ray Barrios responded with, that has not been confirmed. Just broadcast said it will take some looking into to know for sure. And then Luke himself responded with brake failure, buddy. So I don't know why this Ray...
Did they fail?
I don't know why this Ray guy, like... What are you fucking arguing against? You saw what happened on TV. Like, it's very clear what happened. Like, why would you not believe that? You know, the kid knows how to drive enough to not fucking put himself in the wall for no reason like that. You know, like Jesus Christ.
I think it's just very important for all you social media users out there, and it's tempting to just say whatever you want to say, just without even thinking. But then, who knows? Maybe you'll end up as the DARF of the week for saying something stupid like this, and also be called up by the guy you're talking shit about. So, yeah, hands off Luke Baldwin, pal. And your punishment for this week is let's see here. What's a good one?
Eat 15 hot dogs.
Ooh, yeah, that would be tough to do. It's death by 50,000 dogs. I was going to sign him up for the Richard Petty driving experience and have his brakes fail, and then we can all make fun of him on Twitter for being a shitty driver.
There we go.
Or we can put him in an ARCA race at Hickory. You can probably find a ride there.
There you go. All right, with that, now it's time to dive into the septic tank, which I know it was fairly deep this week, but I know Rob didn't watch a whole lot of it. So.
It's going to be a lot of results this week because, like I said, I didn't get to watch everything I wanted to because I was too busy drinking 99 bananas with my boys. But I did watch a few races, most importantly, the NASCAR Wheelie Modified Tour at Martinsville. Always a great show. 31 cars on the entry list, which was good to see. Sometimes the Southern shows don't always draw that much, even though Martinsville is a marquee event for the tour. A few smart interlopers in there and some other guys in the show. Danny Bone on outside pole, but it was New York's own Patrick Emmerling in the number one. On the pole, he led for a little bit and then eventually lost that. Trevor Catalano wrecked Mikey Christopher Jr., which made me shout because I was angry about that. I think it was Trevor. There's so many fucking Catalanos, I couldn't tell you, but I'm pretty sure it was Trevor. Anyway, Steven Kopchik kind of got on an off strategy from other folks and managed to take advantage of that. He moved himself up a few spots by doing that. Ultimately ended up winning the race, his first Wheel and Modified Tour win. I've seen him win a bunch at Stafford and SKs, and he's done pretty well at some open shows and on tri-tracks, so this was no surprise. It was only a matter of time, but definitely cool to take home a grandfather clock as your first NASCAR trophy. Also on asphalt this weekend, the Cars Tour was at Wake County. Now, I didn't watch this, but I felt the impact from all the wrecks all the way up in Connecticut because there's a few of them. Air Doug Barnes and Minnie Terrell getting into it. And they wreck each other. I think that was for the lead. Pretty early on. There was like lap 40 or some shit like that. And Air Doug earned himself a suspension as a result. And also Minnie Terrell is on... what would you call that? Probation for the rest of the year. Even though I don't think he's running.
He has to shave his mustache.
Yeah, he has to shave his little baby powder mustache off. But no, I don't even know if he's running any other Cars Tour races. But if he does step foot on the property, he better watch out because he's on probation. And that was just one of many insane wrecks. And again, if you want more information about the Cars Tour, go check out Buddy Pulley's on tour shit.
Yeah, he was there live in person.
He was literally on the grounds, and he got to witness the shit show himself, and I'm sure he's going to have a full breakdown for you if he doesn't already have one up already, so go check that out. But ironically, through all the chaos, Connor Jones, of all people, picking up a win, so that was something. Usually he's involved in the madness, but not this weekend at Wake County. A lot of discourse about this race and, people trying to blame the racetrack, but I think it's just the driving standards on the tour. This happens almost everywhere the Cars Tour goes. Just butthead shit like this. So again, it's not really my my avenue, so I can't speak too definitively on this, but I'm not surprised to hear that was chaos at a Wake County race for the Cars Tour. But I'm sure Buddy has some more thoughts on that, so go check him out, and he'll tell you all about it. Meanwhile, back home for me, where are we going next with this? My notes are just as hazy as I was this weekend. Yeah, High Limit was somewhere. They were out in Missouri, I think. Yeah, they were in Missouri. Tanner Thorson picked up a win at Route 66, nabbed the points lead. That guy is on a fucking tear right now. I'm a big Tanner Thorson fan. I say that every single week. Definitely cool to see him and the family car do so well on a full-time tour. Like I said, he now has the High Limit points lead. They're supposed to go to Dodge City, but it was postponed due to high winds. That show is going to take place on Saturday, March 28th.
Didn't they have a race postponed last year, too, from winds?
Yes.
Might have been a different track.
Yeah, it does happen. I don't know if it was Dodge City, but maybe it was Lawton, I think, that got canceled due to high winds. But, yeah, it happens sometimes, folks. You have essentially a bullet with a motor in it and a giant wing that will carry you into the next county on top of it. You can't let these guys run, so... World of Outlaws also were out this weekend. Carson Macedo picking up a win at US 36, and Buddy Kofoid finally pulling himself out of the slump there and picking up a win at 81. Tanner Thorson actually, and a few other of the Outlaws showed up. I think this race is only about 35 minutes down the road, and I guess the winds were probably 5 miles an hour less or something, so they ran anyway. But as a result of the winds and track conditions and not wanting to tear his shit up, because Tanner Thorson only has like half a car, he decided to scratch from the show after qualifying. Of course, making himself a target of all sorts of this shit talk from World Outlaw fans. And there is a high limit versus outlaw fan war going on out there, even though it's fucking stupid. But lay off Tanner. Give me a fucking break. Anyway, Buddy Kofoid winning that race, so maybe he likes the wind. David Gravel on top of the points by 48 over Carson Macedo. Sheldon Hodenshield having a good year in third. Looks like getting fired by Ricky Stenhouse might not have been the worst thing to ever happen to him, because he is fast all of a sudden. Now over to the shit that I really love, other than pavement modifieds, of course. World of Outlaw late models. We're in East Alabama for the Chattahoochee Clash. Excuse me. Sorry, Alan Jackson. Nick Hoffman picking up a big win there. That was an awesome fucking race. I did watch that one. Ethan Dotson having a good run until he jumped the cushion and handed it to Nick. But yeah, Nick has been bad fast lately. You watched that one, didn't you, Brian?
Yeah, that one was much better than Saturday. Saturday, they had the fucking power went out, or the lights went out or something.
Yeah, the power in Sonoya did go out.
Jesus Christ. Delayed the race by like an hour and a half.
Yeah, Bubba Pollard had to run down to the power company and pay him by check to get the power turned back on. But once they did, Bobby Pierce handled everybody and picked up a win in the Billy Clanton Classic. I didn't watch that one at all. But
Friday was the better one, so you didn't miss much.
Got a hell of a points battle going in the World of Outlaw late models, though. Bobby Pierce on top by 3 over Nick Hoffman. Tim McCready hanging on to third. Ryan Gustin and Dalton Wilson rounding out the top 5. It was Dalton Wilson who was racing Nick Hoffman. Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse me. Lucas Oil did return from hibernation. Devin Moran picked up a win at Brownstown, and then RTJ broke his winless streak at Atomic on Sunday night. Of course, that show was supposed to be on Friday, but the threat of bad weather pushed it to Sunday. I love a good Sunday evening late model race after a cup race, so that was a nice little dessert after 4 hours of watching Danny Hamlin slowly and surely step on his dick. That was great to see. But yeah, I love RTJ. Glad to see that. Slid Brandon Shepard with about 4 to go and came down to a side-by-side finish at the Checkers. That was fucking killer. Nice little way to cap off my my Sunday there. Devin Moran is on top of the points with Hudson O'Neill, Brandon Overton, RTJ, and Max Blair in the 111, excuse me, rounding out the top 5. That's going to be a great run to the title right there. Speaking of dirt racing in the World of Outlaws in particular, one of my favorite comedians, Jerry Wayne Longmire, is going to be coming to an outlaw event near you. You ever seen this guy?
What? They're going to have a comedian?
Yeah, so I guess he's going to be touring and doing all sorts of like ambassador stuff, and I guess he's performing too. He's the truck astrology guy. He's like a big dude with a beard, and he's super funny. He also does some pretty thoughtful motivational kind of stuff too, which normally I think is corny, but just the way this guy does it, I really appreciate him. Seems like a genuinely good dude and a very big fan of racing, so stoked to see him out there. Hopefully I get to go to an outlaw race at some point this year and laugh. Yeah. Also, Lonesome Pine Raceway opening up again after their renovations. They were open last year. It's not like they closed for a long time, but seen some pictures of this place, and Jesus, they've done so much work on this spot. Me and my boys from Carolina were talking about it, and we're hoping that maybe start seeing some Cars Tour races, Smart Tour, other big asphalt shows come through there, because they've really spent a lot of money, and you can tell it looks absolutely beautiful. Their opening weekend is on the 4th, so coming up this weekend. Little Easter basket for you. Also, I don't know what was happening at the Nashville Fairgrounds. I didn't.
Street stock.
There's a street stock race on the little quarter-mile track that runs along the pit road, and good Lord, they got to figure out something to do. It's a little better than what they had for that wall.
Yeah.
You want to explain this wreck, Truelove?
I don't really know how to explain it other than one of these street stocks, I don't know what the malfunction was, but he just ran headfirst, full speed towards this wall of water barrels and rocketed straight up into the air as there was a track worker standing directly behind the water barrels. Please stop standing behind these water barrels.
Yeah.
This man is truly lucky to be alive because he had zero survival instincts because he just kind of lumbered out of the way slowly. So
It worked out. Thank God.
yeah, pretty insane.
Well, if you like what you saw there, make sure you tune into the Cars Tour at Nashville Fairgrounds on the 11th. I'll
I
definitely
will be
be
there
watching
in
that.
person. So
You will?
I will not be standing behind the water barrels.
No. That's awesome. I don't know if I realized you were going to that. That's cool.
Well, yeah, we just decided to go like late last night because pit passes went on sale this morning and they sold out really quick. So
Hell yeah.
wanted to jump on that.
Well, that'll be a good show. We'll have to. I haven't gone to the fairgrounds since they built all the apartments and shit behind them.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see what it's like. I don't know if that was there when you went there for SRX all those years ago.
Brian, do you remember
What's this
those
now?
apartments were there behind
No, they weren't. They 100% weren't.
Yeah, I don't think they were yet.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to hearing a report on what that neighborhood looks like now.
Well, it's bizarre. The last time I was in there, I was, there a couple of years ago, and it's just next door, like literally feet from the back of the track. It's fucking insane.
Yeah. I would love to live there, personally. But
That the guy that owns the soccer complex is, I guess, trying to buy the racetrack so that he can bulldoze it and turn it into green space.
Soccer fucking sucks, man. Like, it's
awful.
already on the
He's-
decline places. I don't know
Yeah.
why you would do that.
He's hired a bunch of lobbyists to be on his side, too, so
yeah. And
we'll see. But I figured we had kind of been thinking about going to Bristol, but I was like, I don't know, if seeing Dale Jr. run the fairgrounds might be once in a lifetime.
It is a very special place. There's no
That track's
question
been
about it.
kind of in limbo for a while.
Yeah, well, hopefully it survives, and hopefully that guy, instead of tearing it down, gets to lick the bottom of this fucking septic tank because he can suck me. And fuck the MLS. Shit sucks.
Yep.
But before we get there, and Truelove handling the septic tank next week, we got a little bit of racing coming up this weekend. A few series having the weekend off, but the World of Outlaws are going to be ripping at Peevely. World of Outlaw late models are at Farmers City for the Illini 100. If that's not enough late model action for you, we got the Nippy 50 at Makokata. That's always a fun race. All the guys who aren't going to be at the World of Outlaws show are probably going to be over there. Always enjoyable. That's on Flow Racing. Smart Tour is going to be at Dominion, so plenty of modified racing to watch. And also USAC's going to be at Paragon. That's always a fun show. And that's it for the short track septic tank this week. Oh, I guess I can say this on the show now. I might have ruined any chance of going to racetracks I want to go to this year because I will be jumping in the production truck for Pit Row TV this summer up at Claremont Speedway and for all or most of the Granite State Pro Stock events up here. So if you guys happen to be in Claremont Speedway or anywhere in New England or Canada where the Granite State Pro Stocks run, come say what's up to me. I'll be at all those races, or most of them anyway. I think there's a couple I can't make it to due to prior obligations. But yeah, looking forward to seeing what that's all about. Most of the time it's not going to be a conflict, but the Granite State Pro Stocks are running on Memorial Day Sunday, so I'm pretty fucking annoyed about that. But if you want to watch me directing Mad Bombers and shit like that while the Indy 500 wraps up, be sure to knock on the door of the press box wherever they have me set up and bring me a hot dog or something.
Yep.
I would appreciate that. So
He's
anyway,
going to eat 50,015 hot dogs this year.
that's the number we're going for. And yeah, I think it's safe to say I'll probably hit it. But yeah, come say what's up. It's a cool deal. That's it for the septic tank. We'll go ahead and flush it down, and then we're going to hand it over to the children and Benny Parsons.
All right, so video of the week. We had, I already forget the title of it. Did anybody write this down? I
Yep,
forgot.
NASCAR for Kids, A Day at the Races,
Yes.
1995.
So
Kid
I
version.
don't know who produced this. I kind of have a feeling it would have been ESPN just because, Benny being the narrator and the host in a sense, he was heavily involved with ESPN at this time. I didn't totally know what we were getting into watching this. I kind of just skimmed through it and I saw a bunch of 90s footage. Like, this will be worth watching. But for a video produced for kids, it was actually kind of entertaining. this video starts out with Benny Parsons sleeping, and he's woken up by, I thought it was his granddaughter, but it turns out to be his niece. It's his niece, Kensley. And Benny is the narrator throughout this, and it came out, or at least it was filmed in '95 from all the footage. That's what I gathered, because Dale Jarrett was in the car and in the 28 car, and that was the only year he was in that car. So,
Yep.
Benny, to start the video out, Benny kind of, it's funny because throughout the video, he kind of acts like he doesn't really know much about racing, at least with his niece, but, he kind of explains his role in the sport to start the video, and the video kicks off with Benny bringing Kensley to the Rockingham garage. He kind of just walks her around the pits a little bit, and he shows her like Sterling Marlin's car and the haulers, and then he starts showing off tires, and this kicks us into our first song. There are multiple songs, like video specific songs produced for this video, and this one is great. It's just like, we got tires, we got pumps, we got
tires.
Like, I will definitely be posting the clip of this in our Instagram post tomorrow, because this is, I think, all of us, our favorite song of the like 4 songs in this video.
Yeah, it might have to be a new ringtone after this.
How would you intro to the podcast?
Yeah, once Corn sues us, we can move on to this.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like NASCAR Kids Pop.
Yeah, I guess you could say like a very early predecessor. After this, time-honored tradition for new and old fans alike, they head over to the merch haulers, and Benny buys his niece a bunch of crap, a bunch of hats and shirts and a flag, and now she says, "I'm a real race fan." She's wearing a generic NASCAR shirt. They go back into the pits, and they run into another little girl named Jessica, who turns out to be Dara Waltrip's daughter. And they go over to look at DW's car. Benny tries to get in it, but then DW comes over and tells him he can't fit, and they make a bunch of fat jokes, as was par for the course with Benny.
That's a 5-pound sack,
Benny.
And you're about 7 was my favorite.
I mean, Benny, for those who weren't around in the Benny TV days, Benny's weight was always an easy target, and he was very good-natured about jokes about his weight and eating habits and stuff.
Yeah.
So, this is par for the course for him. DW explains, the inside of the car, and they talk about the head restraints, and then they show a clip of like Mark Martin or somebody hitting the wall and fucking just completely flying over the inside of the car. This was
absolutely getting concussed, like no question.
This was a few years before the Hans device was around, for sure. Then we meet Larry Mack and his daughter, and he goes into explaining what a crew chief is and what he does on race day. And then we go on and meet the Jackman for Bill Elliott's 94 car and his daughter. I think it was his daughter. It was mainly girls. Oh, he had a son. Okay, that's right.
This was like the one boy.
Yeah. And they explain what a Jackman does. And then we see Rusty Wallace's childless gas man explain his role.
Yeah.
And then we go into a song called the Pit Stop Boogie, and there's a montage of pit stops. And this gas man, being that he's childless and doesn't have anyone to take care of, is also the truck driver, apparently.
Yeah. He can handle it.
So, yeah, long ass day for him driving the truck back after, gassing the car up all day.
One thing I really enjoyed about the entirety of this video was just the death grip that Benny Parsons had on his niece's hand the entire time. Did you guys notice that? It just looked like he was squeezing the shit out of it, because they're in a live pit road filming this, and a live garage, and children down there don't exactly mix. You can't even typically bring kids into some areas, and obviously they had special permission to film this, but yeah, he was definitely worried about squashing a kid at some point, until they let him run loose for a little bit.
Yeah, they just unleashed them at the end.
And now from here, let's see, Benny. He's showing the kids around the hauler, like, they start off in the kitchen area, and then they go through all the different parts that are scattered about the car and kind of explain what the parts do. We run into yet another child. This is another
Just
little girl.
in the back of the
Yeah, just hiding in the back. Another child named Dorothy. Turns out to be Ken Schrader's daughter. They go into the back of the hauler and wake him up from a nap, and his daughter tries to steal his nose multiple times.
He was not having that.
Yeah, no.
You do not have my nose, is what he said.
And then, Kenny explains his fire suit, and granted, this was a Cup Series weekend, but he shows off his IROC suit because there are less visible Budweiser logos all over it because he was in the Budweiser car this year. So that was funny. Then there's a montage of drivers signing autographs, and they kind of explain. They do their best to quickly explain the role of sponsors and driver appearances and stuff like that. Then we see Jeff Burton, who explains how fun it is to drive a race car and how you might get to bump somebody or you might get bumped. And then there's yet another song called the Beatin' and Bashin' Blues, which is a montage of crash footage.
Yeah, that one made me feel uncomfortable. The song itself. In just like 2 minutes of the most fucking brutal concussion footage you've ever seen.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that because then after this montage, Benny comes back on and says drivers might crash, but they seldom get hurt. 94, there were multiple deaths and Ernie Irvin's wreck, so that is very much not true, Benny. I mean, maybe now you could say that, but not 30 fucking years ago. No way.
Yeah. Also, jumping back about 2 minutes, we did get to see my favorite era of sketchy-looking Jeff Bodine with that thin beard. Just looking like he killed somebody at a truck stop. I enjoyed that. Sorry, Truelove, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just going to say there was also a very brief glimpse of, I think, Ernie interacting with the little girls, and he had an eye patch on. So.
Oh, yeah, that was coming up. We're not there yet, but... then there's a montage of the different pre-race activities between, the fan section and the sponsor sections and all the crews getting ready for the race. There is Ray Evernham is here to tell kids to stay in school and keep up on your math and read lots of books. Ricky Rudd compares racing to riding a roller coaster for 4 hours. Then yet another montage of the kids watching the racing and cheering to random clips, and this is when we see Ernie Irvin in his eye patch era giving high fives to the little kids. And this other song is just Race Day. Again, I don't know what the hell they were saying for most of the song, but the chorus was just it's Race Day.
It was so catchy. It got me so amped up. I was like, I'm ready for another race day. I'm gonna blast this every race day.
Yeah.
So.
But you could tell the children were tired when they were recording the verses because they're a little mumbly.
And then from here, let's see, Benny explains how fast the cars go and how precise the drivers have to be. They show a clip of Mark Martin trying to wave drivers off because something's going on with his car, but he causes a massive wreck anyways. Explains, what caution flags are and why they come out and pit stops. Jeff Gordon won this race, but then they show an interview with him from a Winston Select from last year, which was very weird. But I guess maybe they couldn't use the footage. Who the hell knows? And then after this, the race is over, and Benny says, they're all winners just for trying, and that's what's important. That's pretty much the end of the video. But yeah, this was a fun little time capsule. Again, we're grown adults. This was not for us, but there's always stuff for us to find in here that we can enjoy. So I was pleasantly surprised by this video, and I think you guys were too. So what'd you all think?
Yeah, it felt a little like I was watching a modern Fox broadcast, but it was. Yeah, it was great. It was very wholesome. Seeing Uncle Benny out there was really nice, and I very much enjoyed this. I would have loved this had I seen it when I was a little kid. And I also will say that the video that popped on after this on autoplay on YouTube was called, hold on, what was the actual name of this? What F1 never released or revealed about Jules Bianchi's fatal crash? And the little stinger on the video, like still that pops up. It says, "I slept on the hospital floor," and it's just 15 minutes of Graham Loden, who was the team principal of Marussia, just trying not to bawl his eyes out, talking about the aftermath of Jules Bianchi's wreck at Suzuka in 2015, and just literally sleeping on the hospital floor for days on end in his team kit, waiting for any sort of news to come. And of course, Jules ended up dying eventually. But yeah, very hard left turn after the children's video ended.
I love this. I thought, like Rob said, very wholesome. I feel like I was, about the same age as this Kinsley girl in '95. So she kind of reminded me a little bit of myself.
Listen, you and I are like, yeah, I was gonna say I would have been 11 or 12 when this came out, and she was, I don't know if she was 10, but
she's probably 8 or so, but. She had big curly hair and a little bit of a southern twang, especially when she was ordering that hot dog at the concession stand. So,
can I get a Pepsi and a hot dog? I love that.
So, this is great. Even though last week you said Bill Elliott was in it and you lied to us, but
I'd say his car was in it. His pit crew member was in it. So,
I did see that. This VHS, there was like a special limited edition version of it too that came with a little 164 Gordon car. And there's also another one where it's the kids go to a race shop. So
I'll have to find that one.
Find that, see if there's some more cool songs.
Another video of the week candidate for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, video of the week this week, I think, will be another fun one in a much different direction, though. So I mentioned last week on the show, I found a Reddit thread of different NASCAR TV appearances and footage and whatnot that were used in actual episodes. And we're going to watch one of those this week when we watch an episode of Diagnosis Murder.
Yes.
Starring Dick Van Dyke, titled Murder at the Finish Line from 1998.
Wow.
My mom has definitely seen this.
The synopsis is Dr. Mark Sloan investigates a fatal stock car crash that is revealed to be a cover-up. The driver, Matt Thomas, was poisoned hours before the crash and was already dead before the car crashed, having been sabotaged by the team owner due to financial trouble. So that's what we're going to be watching. Heads up, though, the video of the week, or the actual video itself, it says an hour and a half. It's just the first 45 minutes. So
what's the back half?
I think it's just another episode. So
it's a 2-pack.
Yeah, but yeah, Diagnosis Murder, starring Dick Van Dyke, next week.
Nice.
I don't think I've ever seen this show.
I don't think I ever have either, but I mean, it was a 90s CBS drama, like crime drama, so.
Loved it.
I skimmed through it briefly, and it'll definitely be entertaining, so I'm excited to watch it. But yeah, let's see. So obviously the Cup Series is off this weekend, but both the Busch Series and the Trucks will be at Rockingham, 2:30 on Friday for the Truck Series, which is a real stupid time to have a race. But I don't have a real job, so I'll be watching it. And yeah, it's Easter. That means nothing to me. I will be at my house, hanging out with my dogs. So
nice.
Yeah, that's it for Meet Me at Applebee's this week, I guess. Unless you guys have anything else to say before we close on out here.
No, I think that
Rockingham notes.
Just about covers it. Yeah, I'm excited for Rockingham. Just cannot wait till Cup comes back there. It's got to happen one of these days.
Yeah, I mean,
Casey King's not back, but what can you do?
But you get Cletus.
Yeah, can't wait to talk about that next week.
I'll do fine. It'll be fine.
I was gonna say I would shit talk the RCR cars, but they're actually decent in the Busch Series. So
I think they're getting him set up for success as much as they can be.
Yeah, I'm sure he's learned a lesson from last time.
Oh yeah, we hope. Cool. Well, as always, you can follow us on Instagram at meetmeatapplebees, also on YouTube at the same name. I am Speedway Screens on all the things. Speedway TSJ is the shop, and MMA Applebees at checkout for 15% off.
Still Snake Mountain Truelove. Don't have anything to promote, but if anyone's going to the car store race at Nashville, let me know. We'll hang out. I'll also be back at Talladega later this coming month, so be camping out again. So if anyone's going to Talladega, let me know.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very jealous about Nashville. That sounds like fun. Robots_unofficial on Instagram. My band is called These Wild Plains. New Charlie Marie single is only a couple days away. I forget what the date is because I'm a bad bandmate, but I think it's this Friday. I don't know. Keep your eyes peeled. Go follow Chuck on Instagram. She's great. But yeah, looking forward to a little Easter weekend. I don't have anything planned other than I will be at Claremont this weekend for some setup and all that. But yeah, come see me at the racetrack this summer and tell me how the Indy 500 ends, would you?
Cool. All right. With that, the check is here. So thanks for joining us again at Applebee's, and we'll talk to y'all next week.